Hey Sailing Cayenne 2 fans, Sandra and Shane here. Greetings from Solomon's Island. We're having a quick beer here as we anchored up here yesterday. And we're doing the hopefully last shakedown cruise. Pretty well all the bugs are ironed out. The solar's in, the water maker is working, everything's fine. A couple of issues with batteries that we need to resolve, and then I think we're ready to go. So we haven't made a video for so long because we've been so busy, but we're going to be releasing one shortly, and hopefully we will be leaving the Baltimore area for the ICW around October the 12th. So please subscribe, make sure you like us if you enjoy it, and follow us as the journey and the fun begins.
Welcome to Sailing Cayenne 2. Join us as we explore the beautiful Chesapeake Bay in our newly refitted Morgantown Island ketch, and watch as we're preparing the final touches for our 2021 snowbird journey from Baltimore, Maryland to sunny tropical destinations.
29 months of interesting hard work on everybody's part. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Sailing Cayenne 2. Well, it's the 3rd of July. We have about 3 months left until we head down the ICW, so we're just fixing up and doing some of our final preparations. And today, we're going to talk about making and installing stainless steel handrails where the teak, old teak ones on this Morgantown Island used to be. So what we've done is we've acquired a bunch of these, and these have one hole on each side. They have a countersink in them on each side. You'll also see that what we're going to do to fix them, and this is a handy tip, if you are replacing handrails, then don't screw them in with just regular screws. So what we're using is a 7/16 stainless steel insert, which is threaded, which goes into the wood, and I'll use this as a sample right here where this goes into the wood. To fix it into the insert, we're using a 1/4 28 thread to match the 1/4 28 thread on this insert. Now 28 means it's 28 threads per inch, and don't use a 1/4 20 because 28 gives you 40% more strength to hold this in. The end result is that you should have a holding power of at least 5,000 pounds with this, and at least 5,000 pounds on the bolt. So once these are drilled with a 7/16 drill, they'll simply go in and attach, and the handrail will be permanently on there until such time as you need to take it off. Quick tip, make sure you measure the distance from the drill bit to where the bolt has to come through, so you have sufficient height to drill. Use a 7/16 drill, or in this case we're using one slightly smaller size, and we're simply going to add to this some 5200 or some Loctite once we put it in there. Make sure you have a screwdriver big enough to fit the width of the screw insert right here, and then tighten that in to the fiberglass. So make sure when you go on the deck that you mark out the spots that you want this on. We removed our teak, we repainted everything with a very nice white Rust-Oleum topside, which is about 1/5 of the price of Perfection, and it's been on there for a month. We haven't had any issues with it. So stay tuned, we'll look forward to showing you how this works, and if you have any questions, comments, don't forget to subscribe, and please like us, that helps. So we're going to start our handrails, and the first thing we do is our checklist. So we have some Loctite Marine, a big screwdriver, tape measure, a hammer, and a drill, and a Sharpie. And we've marked these out in the spaces that we want. So the first thing we're going to do is mark the first hole to drill. We're not going to mark the second hole in case we screw up on the first one. So we're going to put the tip of the drill on the spot, and we're going to drill down just to where the tape is. Next thing we're going to do is take our little fitting and we'll see if it fits. This already has some sealant in it which helps to grip it, but we're just going to put just a small amount all the way around. So let's see how well that's going to fit. And we will need a wrench eventually to tighten these all up. The idea is that once these are tight, they will be solid. And the whole idea of a handrail is that you want to be assured you can put some weight on it. Now, I don't know that I'd put jack lines on this, but I can tell you from what we discovered, the old handrails were just a wood screw tapping in, and wood screws, I wouldn't trust my life to that. Well, it's always important to have a Saturday morning work project, and ours this morning was to install our new stainless steel grab bars. We took our teak rails out because they were kept in with screws, which was not very safe. These new ones are made with inserts and stainless quarter 28 bolts, which will hold up to 5,000 pounds. And as an extra added bonus, they even act as a retainer for our deck chairs. How about that, folks? Happy Saturday.
Heading into Magothy River on a headwind.
15 knots headwind and a mizzen, a main, and a cold beer gets me there. Well, enough of the chores for now. It's time to head down to Annapolis. After a quick dinghy ride to dump the trash, we're off to visit Solomon's Island. Well, each to their own. We are coming into Solomon's Island through the North Cut, and we've got a little bit of weather on our nose, but hopefully we'll get in and anchored, and this cell might just pass north of us, although I am doubtful. Well, it was a long day. 4 o'clock, we anchored in. We did 44.3 nautical miles plus 5 miles coming out of Annapolis, and we are here in Solomon's Island. Found a really nice anchorage tonight, and we have the place pretty well all to ourselves. The natural wildlife in Solomon's Island is really something to behold. Between the jumping fish and the flying birds, it's amazing. I wish the same could be said for the actual city life itself. It was a little on the quiet side, but we enjoyed a good walk around town and then went for breakfast. 11 o'clock somewhere, and I think it is here in good old Solomon's Island. So we are at the tiki bar, and we are going to start the day off with an aperitif, or maybe just a beer and some lunch. Folks, we're feeding upwind to the Annapolis Bay Bridge. I think we're actually going to make this. We have a luffing main, a full loaded mizzen, and a full loaded Genoa, and we're cranking out 3 knots, doing what everyone says the Morgantown Island cannot do while we're doing it. Keep your Beneteaus and your Junos. Quite happy with my Morganos. Beautiful morning in the neighborhood. 6:45 a.m. on Saturday, and we're going to head back to Baltimore. We've got some things to look at. We've got some battery issues we're not sure about, and we've got a swim ladder that needs to be looked at. And we've got to make some more modifications to the urine diverter system. So we'll take advantage of this. This thunderstorm's coming in this afternoon, and I don't want to have to sit out in rough weather wishing I was working on the boat. We had fun pulling up the anchor chain this morning. It was halfway to China, but we pulled it up as far as we could, took a break, walked to the stern of the boat, came back, put the boat in forward just enough to pop the anchor out, and Bob's your uncle.
As we're heading back to Baltimore Harbor, admiring the ships, we see our neighbor to our right, Art from artscruises.com, with a boat full of passengers. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Sailing Cayenne 2. Please like us and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.
This is how you do food delivery on Arts Cruises now.